in the theater with the people actually acting, there's a totally different energy. And just, yeah, the energy and the rush you have when you are watching it, and then always there's little things you try to see how things are working, and it's always a little different every night. And so you can go see the same show several times, and it will be a different performance every
Nothing
night.
beats live theater. So it, like Mercy said, it's going to be something different every night. Nothing out of the bounds of the character and so forth, of course, but the fact that a lot of how we say our lines and how we interact with each other on stage, how is the audience reacting?
So when you go to a movie, it's like they film it and then it's edited and there's like so much CGI or whatever they put in it. But when you come to like a musical, it's like very like open and raw, and then I just think it's more fun.
Yeah, so that's true. I like that word raw, because when an actor cries on stage, it's right then and there. They don't have 30 takes to do it and then have it cleaned up post-editing. It has to happen there at the moment. When you understand that's what's happening, you yourself are emotional, even sometimes more than film, because you can feel it in the room.
Yeah, that's what I love so much about live theater, is that everybody on that stage loves what they're doing, and they're actually feeling all these emotions to get the audience engaged, because that's what we're there to do. We're there to make the audience feel something, and in reply we make us feel too.
Well, generally you start with like the basics, of course, like music rehearsals and choreography rehearsals, and so there was a lot going on, just like learning different parts of it. And then when we get to finally put everything together, I think that's when the emotions and the characters really solidify, because we're not just looking at the little pieces, everything kind of fits together and makes sense. But it does take a while of learning all the little pieces of the puzzle before it can make a complete picture.
I always like the analogy of building a home. First, we create the foundation with just the cast, but all of the choreography rehearsals, musical rehearsals, script readings, that's all the framing, and that needs to happen. And then finally, when you start running through scenes, sequentially together, it's almost like putting the roof on. Great, you have a house, but what's inside the house? Then we start adding all the things like the technical, the costuming, the sets. So by the time you see us, we haven't just built the home, but we've also decorated.
For me, Wednesday has been a dream role since 7th grade. So just coming into this, I've been like, okay, let's go. I just want to go faster. I just want to get to this and that. And working with Mercy and Michael has been like, oh my gosh, just amazing. And if I can make these two proud, then I think like life goal accomplished right there. Because they're coming into it already knowing the roles. And so at first I was like, oh no, what do I do? But I think the first time everything like really clicked of like, oh wow, this is like real, was when there's a song, Happy Sad. It's Gomez's song. And we have a little daddy-daughter waltz, you could say, in the middle of it. And the first time we like got the waltz and we did it right the first time, I was like...
Yeah, it was really a treat to see her get teary and caught up in the moment. And I always think to myself, she gets to be emotional. I have to sing and dance at the same time with her, so it's been a pleasure to work with these two and see them grow, so I'm sure they'll have a long career of community theater or more, I'm sure.
So for me, you have to like kind of research your character a little bit. Like before even rehearsals, you need to like look at like how your character's feeling in each scene, so you can really get to the emotion when you're performing.
I think, if you're vulnerable and you allow yourself to go to the places that the character needs to go, then you can, but you do have to trust your counterparts, so they're going to go along that journey with you. And sometimes it happens faster, sometimes you really have to pull it out of whoever you're acting opposite of, but I think if you're solid in your character, you can create that kind of relationship with anybody on stage, but it sure helps when you really can trust that person, because it makes the show stronger and the connections and the chemistry stronger.
Ever since a child coming home from grade school, watching, at that time, of course, reruns of the television show, which sparked my interest into the Addams family, into this, kooky, macabre family that on the outside they look just like chaos incarnate, but when you realize they're a extremely well-adjusted, loving family, they just kind of go about it in a different manner from what people consider norm. But I fell in love with the Addams family and became kind of a little bit of an aficionado. I just love the concept and everything. And when they created the musical, it's something I've always wanted to do just because the character, he speaks to me. I get his quirkiness, but also his fatherly love and the love for his partner and wife, so it's just kind of, it's me.
For Wednesday, there's quite a few reasons, but when I was in 7th grade, my brother was in Addams Family. He played Lucas Meineke. And I don't know, I've always looked up to my brother and I wanted to do everything he did. So I was like, I'm gonna be in that musical. And then I saw him perform it for the first time, and his Wednesday was, oh my gosh, jaw-dropping. And I learned the song Pulled. It's her big belt song where she's like telling the world she's in love with Lucas. And I know that song like the back of my hand, and it's just my freedom song. I can just release, and I love singing. Singing is my entire life, and so to be able to just belt at the top of my lungs, Pulled, has been a dream. And to be able to do it on stage for the first time was just bone-chilling for me.
I don't have a sunny disposition. I'm not known for being too amused. My demeanor's locked in one position. See my face, I'm enthused. Suddenly, however, I've been puzzled. Bunny rabbits make me want to cry. All my inhibitions have been muscled, and I think I know why. I'm being pulled in a new direction, and I think I like it. I think I like it. I'm being pulled in a new direction through my painful pursuit. Somehow, birdies to root all the things I detested impossibly cute. Ah! What do I do? Pulled!
Wow, you got some real issues.
Fly away, little bird.
The first time I saw the Addams Family, it was the Addams Family Values, and I really liked that movie. It was so funny. I didn't know they had an Addams Family musical until I saw auditions for this, and I just thought it would be really fun to be Pugsley Addams. So I practiced my rehearsal song a lot so that I could have my best chance of getting the part, and I did, so I'm here.
I love Morticia very much. My first real exposure was the 1991 movie, and I just thought Angelica Houston was magical. And being a tall, pale person, and I do have black hair, I just kind of always fit. I haven't done all the research, but so I've always wanted to play Morticia, and I did it with Michael last year, and I was like, I have to play Morticia, and I just found there was a part of me missing. Now that Morticia's filled it, there was something I never knew was missing, but I just love being Morticia.
A lie's a lie and lies can kill, and life can quickly go downhill. She kept a secret and she wound up on the guillotine.
Now I see what you mean.
She kept a secret and they shot her with an M16.
That's not a pretty scene.
She kept a secret and she wound up on the cover of a magazine. She was quite the Philistine.
And what's this one?
The dance routine. secret in his life.
Because the plot of the movie is different than the plot of the show, they're in a very different part of their life, and so I think, I know like Angelica Houston talks very softly, but my character goes through things that I have to be much more forceful. Some of the mannerisms I do enjoy that she does, but some of the things I'm like, my Morticia is different because she does have to do things more forcefully and more adamant about certain things because of where they are in their life, and things have to happen at that point.
For me, the character in the movie, I don't really think he had that like much emotion or expression. He was kind of like, he had like a big role and he did a great job, but like, I don't think his character really needed to have that much emotion. So when I was reading through the script, I was seeing that like Pugsley, he loves his family, but then he doesn't feel too keen to the Barnakeys. He doesn't like them very much, you know, so I have to like display that and not be like blank, I guess.
When I got the role of Gomez, from there it was, okay, how do I want to portray Gomez? And so, interestingly enough, Gomez in the play, they wrote him very, Castilian, and so he kind of has a Spanish accent, but it's just been lots of fun kind of figuring out how to add the New Yorker with the Castilian with myself.
As Mercy was saying, it's a completely different plot line, and Wednesday's most definitely at a different time in her life. She's not the little girl with the pigtail braids anymore, as everybody knows Wednesday Addams to be. And I think it's important that I've been trying to like look back on all the old films and remember what it was to be that little girl, but to be my own person and be my own Wednesday.
Full disclosure, it's a game that we play. Let your darkest secrets give you away. Face your demons and then happily say, I'm playing full disclosure with all these crazy happy people. Full disclosure, it's a hell of a game. Once a favorite of the late Dane Xiaoping. Doesn't matter if you're right or left wing, he loved his full disclosure.
Full disclosure, full disclosure. Disclosure, full disclosure, full disclosure.
I think this is the first time I've like repeated a role, especially so close together, and so that's been really, it's been really interesting to, as you said, polish. We get to polish, I get to change. I think my Morticia has evolved and is a little different. I mean, of course, there's unlearning choreography and relearning choreography, which is hard, but also taking that same character that I have created and then having a new director come and say, this is my vision, and so having to take different visions and really make a more well-rounded character. And then this theater's really fun. There's a lot of really nice technical things and things that are different from the last time we did it too. So that also adds, there's different layers to the performance. So, but the whole process of doing the same role twice and how that would make me think deeper about the next character I play, because I got a chance to take this one twice and really add layers. And so I'm like, the next character I want to do, I want to make sure it's got like more layers to it.
This show has really taught me to like look into my character, because when I was thinking Addams Family, I wasn't expecting like to look at like all the individual characters and see how I feel about them. Like I spent a lot of time on that. But now if I do that for like other shows, then I think it will help me to perform better for those too.
The things I always try to do is, I want to remind myself that I'm an actor here to do a role. So you really have to be willing to set aside your ego and listen to the director and work with the production staff, as well as, get to know all of your cast members so you can create that camaraderie of actors on stage. And so it's just a reminder every time you start a new production that you have to set aside yourself and kind of relearn where your part is. The other thing, though, is this stage is so large. A lot of community theaters are not this large by any means, and it's a reminder of how to fill the stage with your presence and work with such a large cast, where traditionally most community productions are 20 people, and this is 50.
One thing that happened when I started the show, because I thought, wow, I'm doing this whole show all over again, but everybody else hasn't. This is their first Addams, and I love the Addams family, and I loved last time I did it. It's a really special place in my heart, and I'm like, so I need to bring everything I can to make sure that they have that same experience with the Addams family. And so that made me think I really need to kick it up, because I want them to experience the love for this show like I have, and I can't just be like, oh, I've done it before. I need to be like, you love this show and bring it to that level.
For me, since Wednesday has been a dream role, I think bringing it to life was actually a lot harder than I imagined it to be, because I think I just thought of Wednesday as just like, oh, I just have to keep a dead face the whole time and I'll be fine. Like, I can get away with that. I cannot get away with that at all. And so I think digging deeper into the character and reading the script over and over again and working with the wonderful Michael, oh my gosh, he saved me. And just working through it all and finding like all of the thoughts that's going through Wednesday's head. And it's a completely different character than I've ever played before, and one that I'm very glad that I've gotten to live.
Can we rise above, move toward the darkness, move toward the darkness. Love triumphs at last.